जय श्री माता जी। पूरे हृदय से श्री माता जी के चरणों पर प्रणाम करके बंधन लेंगे। Let us all humbly, with surrendered hearts, bow down at the lotus feet of Sri Mataji and take bandhan. तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र लेंगे। जय श्री माता जी। संतुलन करेंगे। बायां हाथ श्री माता जी की ओर, दाहिना हाथ पृथ्वी माँ पर। Let us balance, starting with the left hand towards Sri Mataji and the right hand towards the Mother Earth. श्री माता जी कृपा करके हमारी बाई ओर से आने वाली सभी बाधाओं को इस पवित्र भूमि तत्व में विलीन कीजिए। श्री माता जी, please take away all the problems from our left side into the Mother Earth. अपना दाहिना हाथ श्री माता जी की ओर लेंगे, बायां हाथ आकाश की ओर। Let us keep our right hand towards Sri Mataji and left hand towards the sky. श्री माताजी कृपा करके हमारी दाहिनी ओर से आने वाली समस्त बाधाओं को इस आकाश तत्व में विलीन कीजिए। श्री माताजी, please remove all the obstacles. Please take away all the obstacles from the right channel into the ether element. अपना बायां हाथ श्री माता जी की ओर। श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हमें संतुलन प्रदान कीजिए। हमें वर्तमान में स्थित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, प्लीज गिव अस कंप्लीट बैलेंस and establish us in present and in thoughtless awareness. इसी ध्यान की अवस्था में श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी सुनेंगे। We listen to Sri Mataji's speech in this state of meditation.
Shri Mataji has just very clearly said that we should stop worrying about the planes. Everything is arranged, everything is done, there's nothing to worry about tickets, nothing to worry about the planes. Please stop worrying, it really hurts Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji just said that it hurts her when we think and keep on worrying about our planes. Everything is arranged, nothing to worry.
The Sahajogis should not fall to such a level of mundane type of people. After all, what is going to happen to you? I would say those who have been worrying and all that should go into great meditation and understand that you are insulting yourself. You are saints. Why should you worry about what plane you are going to get, what you are not going to get? Shows that your level is very low. Definitely. All those who have worried. You have come here under my protection and you'll go back under my protection. I got so sick this morning that I was thinking we will not have any pujas. You must know that you are all part and parcel of my being. I have put you in my body and you have to behave yourself. So on such an auspicious day, when we have all come here, to do this special puja. I would say this should be called as a Mahalakshmi Puja because it's something to do with the industry of this country and of the whole world. Unless and until all the human ventures are connected with God, they cannot get their perfect stage and their status. That's why we have problems now in the West, supposed to be very clever people, very smart, very well equipped, well educated. We are having recessions and things because they have no balance. They don't know that there is God's power which works at them. And when you neglect that, this is what happens to you. Now for any venture that we do of this kind, first of all, we have to use a lot of material from the Mother Earth. But if it is taken for a proper purpose, for constructive things, and for helping others, with a balance, the Mother Earth can think. She can produce more and more all this she has produced before. She can produce for people who are sensible, who are in tune with God, not just making money for themselves or for their own purpose, but are thinking in totality, thinking as to what we can achieve by doing this. And that is how an industry can grow. Now see, in Japan, so much industry has grown, but no spirituality. They are not at all happy people. The children are suffering, families are suffering. Money cannot get the total well-being of a human being. So a balance has to be drawn. Especially in our country, thank God, we didn't have such a fast industrialization. And that's why we are saved of lots of problems that the Western people are suffering, about which the Indians are not aware. They think you are all living in a very comfortable life there. Industry has to go hand in hand with the handicrafts. And industrialists have to also look after the artists. Because otherwise, who will look after them? How will they bring forth the balance between the art and the industry? An art is such a soothing thing for these hard-working people. They work the whole day. Then there is some sort of a music, art, to console them, to give them peace, to relax them, and a balance. So I would say that all industries must take to some artistic ventures also, or they should also produce things. After, I was telling Rajesh many a times that you should try to produce something artistic out of the steel scrap that's left over. Will be a good idea. They have tried something now. But industry should not be looked down upon as it is looked down upon in our country. I mean, as if industrialists are the greatest thieves and all the politicians are saints in this country. It's the other way around, I think. It should be treated with respect and should be understood. That's very important. And the industrialists, if they become also enlightened, they can do a lot, not only to their own country, but also to the people whom they are looking after. So in the Mahalakshmi principle, Mahalakshmi has various mudras. One of the mudra is that she puts her right hand like this. Now this right hand is to give protection to people who are under the protection or under the service of some rich man or the industrialist, we can call it. In India, if you call somebody a rich man, it's like abusing him. I mean, nobody likes it. Because the rich are always shown to be the worst people, which is not so. In my own experience, it's not so. If there's a poor man also, he could be terrible. We have had very bad experiences now in Ganpatipura of very poor people, how they behaved in a very funny manner, supposed to be poor. So it should be a proper balance. It should be brought to a proper balance between the understanding of the poor and the rich and the rich and the poor. After some time you will find that people will not consider poverty or riches as so important. But the richness of the spirit will become very important. That is what is going to be the Sahaj nations, where the richness of the heart, the spirituality, oneness with the divine will become the greatest boon for everyone. But still we are struggling to be on that state. Many are. And still we go into materialistic tantrums or some sort of a stupid worrying fall. All these must be carefully watched. If you can keep this chariot of new progress progressing faster, we are going to create a new world of complete harmony, complete peace, joy and love. But for that you are the ones who have to do it. I cannot do it. If I could have done it, I would not have asked you to join Sahaja. It's like a horses and the chariot. Horses are to be driven. Charioteer doesn't drive the chariot. In the same way, you must understand your responsibility that this is the greatest work we are doing. It's not only the industry or the labor and the capital I'm talking about, but I'm talking about the totality of well-being. Of course, all this is a part and parcel of that, no doubt. But the balance should be with the totality. So we have to think of a total well-being. Once we start thinking of the total well-being, then first thing that should come to us, are we capable of bringing up that total well-being? Are we? Have we got the total well-being within ourselves or not? Have we? We are still worried if the plane is coming or not. I mean, we are so mundane, so little, so small. With one bandhan, you can control any plane, any atmosphere, and here you are, still worried about things which are absolutely under your control. So this totality has to be thought over. What is this totality that Mother is talking about? In this totality, a world has to be created of people, by the people, who have no fear. This fear has to be. Behind all this nonsensical nervousness is fear. So for that, what she does is to give Abhayda. Under her protection, you are beyond fear, you are protected. But if you don't want to believe in yourself, and you don't believe into her protection, then nobody can help you. Because everything is mythical for you. In every venture that we take up, we should not have any fear, because God is with you, is a fact, is the truth. You just try. But when you try through your ego, you fall into the trap of fear. I have seen egoistical people are the most frightened people and panicked because they panic others and so they think they can be panicked one day. When the English were here, first of all, in England, India, we were all frightened of them. Now, I see that in England, every English family is frightened of others. They'll only open a chink of the door to see who is there and shut it. They're so frightened. I'm surprised they are the same English who ruled us here. And we were so peevish before them. And now they are the ones who are frightened of us. Because when a person who is egoistical tries to dominate others, he sees himself in the mirror and thinks that the other person will dominate. That's how this fear creeps into our minds, and we start getting all kinds of these stupid tantrums out of this mythical fear. The fear is created by our ego. A person who has no ego, he'll have no fear because he has not harmed anyone. Why should you have any fear? And such a man or such a woman will be looked after by God because God takes over. When you surrender your ego to God, He takes over. But those who have ego, He says, all right, go ahead. Use your ego, try to protect yourself, cut your throat. That's what it is. So when I talk of total benevolence, I am talking about your own total benevolence. So first is the fear, which should go out of your mind completely if you believe in the Almighty God. We'll say, you are Almighty God, you are Almighty this thing. It's all lip service. If you believe that God is Almighty and you are connected with God, then why should you have any fear of anything? But when we say don't have fear, another extreme comes up. We don't have fear, we can do what we like, we can perform everything ourselves, we need not tell anyone. You have to tell God whatever you are doing. You have to take permission, you have to inform in His darbar, in His court, that sir, we are thinking of doing such a system. But you think you are God? You are not. And that's why the another part of non-fear is this kind of an arbitrary behavior, which is very dangerous for Sahaja Yoga, for yourself, or for everybody else. The second fear, I have is that if I tell you anything, 99% of you understand is for your benevolence, is for your good. But there is 1% of people who can just react because they have too much ego and they won't take it because they don't think of their own benevolence. They don't understand that if I am telling them anything, it is just to give them completeness, totality. But on the contrary, they take a very wrong attitude. This is another nonsense. So now one has to develop a kind of a indifference to this kind of people who unnecessarily go to the other limit of their own destruction. I don't want to see what is the point in everything that I am telling. Only I can tell you, who else? I have to tell you what's wrong with you, what you have done wrong, and then you must change it. This is another style of reaction one gets. Means they are not interested in their own benevolence. They are not interested in the benevolence of their children. They are not interested in the benevolence of their country or the whole world. Now why have you come to Sahaja Yoga? Just ask one question. Of course, for you to ascend. But ascend for what? Supposing we bring one tube light. For what? We have to take the tube light. For what? We have to put the light. But this tube light doesn't give light, nothing of the kind. So what's the use of having this tube light? In the same way, what's the use of coming to Sahaja Yoga if you cannot become the light of the divine. So all of you, each one of you, is not at all a small person. No one. But you don't realize what you are. Still have those funny conditionings by which you think you are no good. All of you can come up and see so many people. If they take to total benevolence within themselves, it will manifest itself outside. Absolutely is a fact. Then the attention is very important. The attention should be on your own perfection and on your total benevolence. This is also another point people miss, that they start finding faults with others instead of finding faults with themselves. As a result, if you look at others, what will you get out of it? I just don't understand. If somebody is wrong, he's doing something evil, he's bad, even if you put attention to him, what will you do about it? But if you have something wrong, you have every right, you have every control, and you can correct yourself. I said, this is especially Indian quality, is to find faults with others. They'll never see that what's wrong with us. All the time, the attention is involved in finding with faults with others. Then how can we improve? On the contrary, if you start seeing faults, you get faulty much more. It's a copycat nature of human beings. They see somebody doing like this, oh mother, he is a Sahaja, he does like this, so what's the harm if I do? But who says he is a Sahaja? So Sahaja is not a brand, it's not a certificate, it's not a kind of a organization, but it is your own status that you have achieved. Anybody can say I am a Sahaja after all. I cannot stop him from saying I am not Sahaja. Even some, I have seen some mad people, they are Sahajogis. For years together they are mad, but they are Sahajogis. But you have to see for yourself, am I Sahajogi or not, before certifying yourself. Why don't you find out? But despite that, I must say it's such a satisfaction. I never expected that so many people will get their realization to be them. Never. I mean, I knew that it was Ama's modus operandi I have developed, but I never expected. But it has happened. And even now I have to expect that all of you will achieve the highest positions, the Paramapada, as I said, like the North Pole or like the Meru, absolutely Atala, which cannot be disturbed. So that's my hope, and I'm sure we'll all comply with it.
जय श्री माता जी. Shri Mataji, thank you for today's collective meditation. श्री माताजी, आज के ध्यान के लिए आपके श्री चरणों पर कोटि कोटि प्रणाम करते. पूरे हृदय से श्री माताजी को प्रणाम करके बंधन लेंगे. Let us humbly bow down with surrendered hearts to Shri Mataji and take bandhan. Jai Shri Mataji.